the Fury of the Beast, your host. How are y'all doing this week? Girl, I done started my cycle today, of course. Very tired, but showing up because that's what we do now. We show up. Too many times I haven't shown up for myself. How y'all doing? Let me check the volume here. Let me check the volume. There we go. How's everybody's week? Girl, I actually had a decent week because the week before last was a little tough. But this week, it was actually pretty good. The kids are fine. They're on autopilot. They have really stepped up the cleaning up behind themselves. I've added some new things to my cleaning routine. I usually clean my walls every couple of weeks, but now I'm wiping them down every day. I don't know what's changed, but for some reason, I've started focusing on areas that I wasn't focused on before, like the corners in the rooms, a lot of dusting, being up on cleaning the window panes more. Because y'all know I clean my house 3 times a day. I shower 3 times a day. It's like a spiritual mental health thing for me. Like I need my house perfectly clean or I literally cannot function. And I've just had to accept that about myself. I accept that I can't be just anywhere. I accept that I can't just do anything. I accept that I can't just eat anything or watch just anything because it just disturbs me on a very deep level. So, because of everything I've been through now, my entire life is focused around healing, mental health, spirituality, all of that. So, we are here to find out what our life's task is. See, I got that verbiage from this book that I've been working in. I did my homework. I had 4 goals last week and I reached 3 of them. Okay. Because we do spiritual work, physical work, and mental health work. So there's 3 books that I'm reading right now. You're still in Robert Greene's Mastery. You know, the Harvard graduate. Judah gave me back his the seduction book because he said he's weird. He said he's a weird. I'm like, but he's got a lot of good information. He studied a lot of great books. So he, like Billy Carson, is a wealth of information. But this is the concise mastery book about the way he looks at life is that it's like an apprenticeship and that it's our job to find out what our life's task is. Some people call it what your passion is or your purpose, life's task, whatever verbiage you need to connect with, to get moving on figuring out what it is that you need to do to make yourself happy, but also be able to be sustainable. Like everybody has bills. We live in a construct. We get it. Nobody's happy in that construct, but that's what my other book is about. Getting out of that. Hold up, he writes it perfectly. Unscripted, that's the name of the book, will show you how to Unscripted will show you how to rewrite life's dream killing script. Learn how to ditch the job, flick the Wall Street the bird, and escape the insanity of trading your life away for a paycheck and an elderly promise called retirement. Unscript today and lead life instead of life leading you. And that's what this is about. So all of these are about mastery. And then I love Sister Soldier. So Midnight in the Meaning of Love. This guy is like low key a ninja. He's training to be a ninja. He's this black boy, I believe from the Sudan. Well, let me call him a young man. He is not no boy. And he lives in Brooklyn. And his wife, Akimi from Japan, just got kidnapped by her mom, her dad, because he doesn't approve of her marrying him, Midnight, the character, the boy from the Sudan. So this is the tale of him getting his family together, his his sister, and squirreling them away in a new place while he goes across the world to go get his love, honey. So this is a really good book. I'm loving that. So I did a chapter out of everything. I thought I finished this chapter, but it was a lot to take in. And I really wanted to drink it in very slowly and take notes and look up stuff. So I still actually have a couple more pages on this, but I'm going to really take my time. But as long as I read it, because I cannot stand getting books that don't get read or take a long time to read. So I did my homework this week. I did not work on the book, but all week I was conceptualizing. So low key, I was working on it. It's kind of like how you haven't necessarily written a song yet, but you've got some beats and you listen to the beats and you're kind of writing the song in your head, but you haven't physically sat down to write it. That's how I paint. I have this mural on my wall that I'm working on, and sometimes I'll just stare at it because I'm conceptualizing what I'm going to do next. So I did my homework for this week. Very proud of myself because I don't always show up for myself. And I had to figure out, and I was talking to my therapist about this, why is it that I run away from completing my goals? The goals that, if I finish them, would probably change my life for the better. I don't understand that. Why do I run away from the things that bring me the most joy? And I had to really sit with myself and figure that out. So that's why I spent so much time trying to process my emotions, which I thought was going to be this long process, which it is. But I thought it was going to be something I had to sit all day long and do. But it's not like that. It's just the processing emotions is going to be a long term process. So I've moved on past that, understanding that it's just been integrated into me now and something I'll do along the way. But now my focus is on completing goals because I have a very hard time completing goals. I've been through a lot of trauma, and I'm not going to hold you. I've been out in the world, out in the street for so long. I just want to stay still. I just want to be still. My life was going like this, like this. If it wasn't the FBI at the door or my ex-husband coming through the door with blood from the top of his head to the bottom of his feet, or DSS at the door, or just I've been through so much, yo, that it's like, no, I don't want to go out. No, I don't want to hang out. I don't want to do nothing but sit here and be thankful that I have these walls around me. But eventually, then I start. This guy, what did he say? I can't remember which one of these books. It was like, once you get complacent, a part of you begins to decay. I was like, damn, the visuals on that are no joke. Once you begin to be complacent, a part of you decays. And that's true. Like, I get the trauma and you wanting to be still and you just wanting to grab onto stability, because that's what I was doing. I'm just grabbing onto my stability. Like, yep, as soon as I get money, pay all the bills. All the bills are paid. Okay, the bills are paid. Okay, gotta get the groceries. All right, groceries. Okay, gotta keep the house clean. Gotta keep the house clean. Like, my wanting to be sober, stable as, like, I hang on to it, but then after a while, it's like that's not enough. Once you get that under control, then it's like, okay, so what are we doing to develop ourselves? The kids are fine, they're stable. The house is fine, they're stable. The plants and the pets, they're fine, they're stable. Now, what about you? What are we doing for your development? Not just like your mental health stuff. You're taking care of that. I'm talking about your education. I'm talking about what you're here to do, like why you were born. You can't only have just been born to be a mom and pay bills. Like, I enjoy being a mother. It's, I believe children are divine assignments, but I'm talking about the mark I'm supposed to leave on this world. Like, I have gifts. I have artistic gifts. What do you want me to use them for? I'm talking to God. I'm talking to my ancestors and my spirit guides, who I've been totally ignoring. Like, I've been talking to God and my ancestors, but I never talked to my spirit guides. And I never, I want to start to, since I don't have family and friends. I mean, I got my kids. I love, shout out to my kids. I love my kids and my pets and my plants. But I don't have friends or family to support you. I don't know how long you've been with me, but I'm adopted, and my adopted parents just kind of cut me off when their relationship went down the toilet. So I hang on to my spiritual family. And I forgot that we have spirit guides. I kind of just meshed everybody into one, but it's like, I really have to hang on to my connection with nature and with God and with my ancestors, because it's all I have. And it's all that's real to me, because that's all that's ever really shown up, like really shown up and affected me and guided me to where I needed to go, even to now, into what I'm doing. I am bipolar, girl. I got anxiety. Don't nobody want to get on no live talking about no damn trauma, but I'm pushed to do that because that is my life's purpose. That's my task. That's my work. But it's like, the sad part is it's the trauma, the way the trauma has affected me prevents me from fulfilling my life's task. So now I have to acknowledge that, accept it, and then get new information and apply it to my life so that I can change. Because who is going to stay like this, girl? You got me messed up. I saw some hearts over there. Hi, silent watchers. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you being here. Let me tell you what, when I have an appointment, it drives me nuts to know that I have to be somewhere. I've gotten better. This even having a scheduled live every week helps me heal because first of all, I was terrified to even have to be confronted with negativity because I internalized it so much. Like it felt like I was being attacked whenever troll would be up in here. But girl, I have built a shield. I'm stronger now. I don't have to worry about all that stuff. But being able to face my fears has made me stronger and to be more accountable for showing up when it's tough for me. If I know I have an appointment at 5 o'clock, even the night before, it's hard to sleep because all I'm doing is obsessing about that appointment. So now I've had to train myself to focus on other things throughout the day that are constructive. Like I've been cleaning, reading, cooking, and next thing I know, it's almost time for the live. Before, I would be stressing, pacing, or even just sitting at the side of my bed looking at the clock, waiting for the live. So every week we're getting better. And sometimes I feel like, okay, growth is not linear. So sometimes it's like, okay, we're doing well. Then I'll just like, low vibrational day. Then we're okay. Then it's like, oh, wow, high vibrational day. Then it's like, having a rough time. So, it's up and down, but that's why I painted the waves on my mural so that I remember that life happens in ebbs and waves and seasons and cycles. So I don't trip too much when I have a rough day or a low day. And that's why I surround myself with nature because it helps me remember, yo. That's what like. Don't forget what it really is. Don't get caught up in this fear and this sadness so much that you feel like things are hopeless. Please remember seasons and cycles. Okay, your situation is not forever, and I have to remind my brain of that because my brain will see any change as a threat, and when we feel threatened, it's fight or flight. And me with my Scorpio sun likes to choose fight, so that's why I have to spend so much time in my internal world fixing the cracks in my psyche because of the trauma. So let's get into the journal. Don't deviate. So in looking into this book, I really like this book. I know Judah don't really care for him, but I like how this makes you accountable for being aware of your surroundings and being able to change your situation, honestly. I like that. It's making us stay focused on our tasks. Throughout the day, I'm like, does this task have anything to do with my life's plan? So that's why I'm not tripping too much off negative stuff. Oh my god, I said I was going to talk about this, but Joe, the craziest thing happened this weekend. So I'm asleep. Okay, these kids left call me in the middle of the night. So I get a phone call in the middle of the night. Listen, it's like all I remember him saying is, "It's viral. They thought I had a knife. I didn't have a knife. It's viral now." And I'm like, all I hear is him keep saying viral. So I'm thinking he's talking about something on his Instagram. I'm like, you can flex in the morning. Just tell me about it later. So I hang up. So I wake up. He calls me again. So now it's like 4 hours later. So the first phone call is like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. Next phone call is like 7:30 in the morning. So I call. So we're FaceTime because everything is FaceTime with these kids, right? Apparently, my son, because this is what my teens do, my son and his friend group, they work night shifts, right? And they don't like being alone. I'm sorry. These kids, a lot of them they're either black or mixed. I think there's one white girl in the group. So the mixed and black kids don't like being out by themselves. And now we live in a small town, mountain town. Like, even if we didn't, like, who wants to be out in the middle of the night by themselves? So either way, they will stay at each other's job. Like, if one has to work, there's one staying in the car. So they'll have somebody there with them. Because sometimes when you work overnight, because they got like manager positions and stuff, they might be the only person working. Or there might be only one other person other than them working. So they stay in each other's cars and ride home with each other so they're not alone. Okay, fine. This is something they did on their own. I think that's good. So my son is riding with the white girl in the back, and then the mixed girl was driving. My son is mixed. He's in the passenger seat. So something happened where they got stuck behind somebody who was stuck behind a dump truck or something. I don't know, and couldn't turn. And then the kids couldn't go backwards because somebody was behind them, and then there was somebody in this lane. I don't know, whatever it was, they were stuck behind this car. So this big white guy jumps out of the car accusing my kids of tailgating them or something. He was drunk, belligerent, went over to the driver, who is a mixed female, And so she jumps out the car because she just wanted them. She jumps out the car. Don't be coming over here. What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. So as soon as she jumps out the car, my son jumps out the car because he just built like that. You're not going to be aggressive to no female. So my son gets out the car. Now, mind you, my son got on Crocs and pajama pants because it was his turn to just stay in the car. So he's not expecting to have to go anywhere. Like he telling these kids about going outside and whatever. So, and she still got on her little metallic, like you can tell that they just got off a warehouse job. So my son's telling the guy to get back in the car. And he was like, I could smell that he was drunk. And he wasn't making any sense. And I was just telling him to get back in his car. And the guy thought that my son had a knife or something. I don't know what made my son lift. Oh, my son had keys in his pocket. He went to take the keys out or something, and the guy thought he was pulling out a weapon. I don't know. I don't know. So the guy who was being drunk and belligerent, his baby mama, whoever it is that was driving, my son is like, "Come get your man," and she's not doing anything. So she apparently starts recording my son, and then, however it happened, my son managed to get the guy to get back into his car and leave. I guess maybe the light changed, or maybe the dump truck moved, or however it happened, my son managed to get the guy back into his car. That would have been fine had it just been that. But then this Facebook page of my town, where it's like the happenings of the town. The next morning, the drunk guy's girl that was driving, that was recording, takes screenshots from the recording of my kid lifting up his shirt, removing the keys, and trying to say that he was armed and being aggressive. And it was like, watch out for these drunk kids. They tried to run us off the road. They were tailgating me last night. They were in this type of car, blah, 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 blah. So my son reads that and starts freaking out. He's like, everybody sees this. People are calling me. They making it a racial thing. And the white girl in the back won't say nothing. And like, so I didn't even realize that it was a private group. And I was a part of the private group. It's a private group that I actually do business on to promote my business, Masters of Fake Music. So I go in there and I'm like, not a mode I want to be in, full mode. I'm like, you need to take this post down because before you get sued, because this is a lie. When I tell you, there were people on there saying crazy stuff about the kids. Somebody pulled up my rental history. Somebody made an AI rap beef song about it. Like, it was the craziest shit. But I definitely went on there and told them that they need to take that post down, and we were not one of them, and it was stupid to say something like this that was untrue on a public platform in such a small town. Like, we're not going to run into each other. And somebody was like, you need to be careful what you say, especially if you're taking them to court, blah blah blah, threatening people. I said, I didn't threaten people. I said, you shouldn't be lying, especially in a town where you're going to come across the people that you're lying to. I'm saying it in a way of, because you're not going to lie in front of my face and you're going to not like running into me after you've lied. That's not a threat, it's a fact. We're probably going to run into each other. So isn't it stupid that you're lying? Because no, I'm coming from a place where I know nobody's going to lie in front of my face. You can tell by somebody's body language if they're lying. So if you lied about me, you're not going to want to run into me because you're not going to be able to lie in front of me. And then I was like, there are consequences. Since universal law, honey, it's consequences for you coming up in here, coming after somebody who is innocent. You know what I'm saying? I was like, respectfully, mind your business. You know, and then my other son, he got all mad. You embarrassing us. Don't be talking to these people. They so stupid. But it was like, somebody had to go in there and tell my son's side. One, because my son couldn't get into the private group. So she was just pushing this narrative and attaching it to my son, who also has bipolar. I think I'm bipolar 2. He's bipolar 1. So he's actually, he was homeschooled, all that. He just started going out and socializing. He's had run-ins with the police, and he might be mixed, but he got black boy problems. Okay, he's scared as hell of the police. He's scared of the fucking police. He don't know them damn kids don't be out there doing anything. You know what I'm saying? They're just normal teenagers. The worst they do is eat at McDonald's, and I be wanting to choke the hell out of them. I'm like, why are y'all eating McDonald's? Like, y'all know better. But like, I brought them from the city to live a square life out in the middle of the mountains. So y'all not about to attach this narrative. And when there is a white person in a social on a social platform lying about non-white people, to me, it is automatically a racial issue. Maybe I was wrong for that, but in that moment, it didn't seem like that was wrong because you have this drunk, belligerent, huge grown, non-colored man screaming at these mixed kids, and then you get on a social platform accusing them of doing stuff that you were doing to them. In my mind, it's already all I thought was Emmett Till. And y'all not about to do that because this town is small and everybody did see that, and y'all not about to play with my family. So yeah, I did, and they took it down. They took it down. You're not about to do that. So I be like, stay your ass in the house. But it's like he didn't do nothing wrong. He was like, I didn't do nothing wrong. He was like, he was so upset because he didn't want to hear he didn't want his brother to think he was out there doing anything wrong. Because it's like, I don't want to say I'm strict with my family, but I have strict expectations of with my family, and my children respect me. So it's like they don't have to be in the house. The older ones don't have to be in the house at a certain time, but they know to bring their ass up in here at a certain time. You're not gonna be out in these streets. Their ass is home. You're home for a reason. I pulled you out of public school for a reason. If I'm not out in the street, why are you out in the street? Stay in the house. It's not the season for that. You know what I'm saying? We here to build and focus. Well, this family has been through too much. It's not let's go hang out season. Hang your ass out there. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm paying $1,100 a month for. You got the space to hang out here. And that's what I don't seem to understand. When you really got it like that, you make your home your heaven. Okay? You don't go out to find entertainment. You build spaces in your home where you can entertain yourself. We live in hell. Stay your ass in the house. Hey, Nathaniel. So that was crazy. But girl, people from rehab were hitting me up. They were like, Fury, you good? We saw such and such and such. And I was like, yeah, I apologize for my language or whatever. I was just, that was crazy. I've never experienced anything like that. I was in mama bear mode. They were like, no, I understand, blah, blah, blah. You got to defend your children or whatever. But I didn't even say anything when my son was fussing at me when he was like, don't respond to people. I pretty much just stayed speaking to the person who wrote the post. I wanted her to take it down. And then people started coming up saying, yeah, we know them. They do meth and they drink all the time and stuff like that. So that's why I told my son, just because he was like, my reputation, whatever. I don't want people thinking that I did these things or trying to approach me on the street, stuff like that. And I'm like, people that know who you are. And who you are speaks for who you are. And plus, people know who they are. So let the truth stand. And so it was a great learning opportunity, but it was very stressful. It took most of the day, it took a lot of energy because I didn't like being in that low frequency. Usually I'm the one that goes high. But for some reason, and it was on the Lionsgate portal too. It was on the 8th. For some reason, I really had time that day for war. I was in my segment energy. You know what I'm saying? Usually I try to really give Hathor, but that day, no, I couldn't. No. But moving forward, I'm sure I had to let my son know that I was proud of him for how he handled the situation because how many people that are that young can escalate a grown, drunk, belligerent, aggressive man? So I was proud of my son for how he handled himself. So, but this is why I stay my ass in the house, honestly. What else happened this week? Oh, my turtle is still refusing to eat his food from Zoomed or whatever on Amazon, the pellets, whatever. He likes the stuff with the bugs in it. So he will not eat that. So what he's been doing is sneaking out of the room at night and eating the cat's food. And she lays there and let him do it. So I went back to giving him the tomatoes now that they're more in season. For a while, I didn't like the tomatoes I was getting. He wouldn't eat them. It's scary. When your animals won't eat the food from the grocery store, it's very scary. So I gave him some tomatoes. So I planted what was left. I couldn't get any seeds from the tomatoes today, but I got some seeds from the tomatoes that he ate. He left a little bit of seeds. So I planted them, germinating them right now. So I'm excited about that. What else did we do? I've been working on my vegan brownie recipe. I've been developing recipes because my son's side hustle is this vegan bakery. He does non-vegan stuff too, but He can do Liège waffles, donuts. He does focaccia bread, does muffins, bagels, everything from scratch. And he can make regular or he can make vegan because I'm the only vegan in my family. Which I think I got demoted to vegetarian last week because I ran out of agave nectar and had to use honey on my waffles. Which, by the way, I have developed my eggless, dairy-free Belgian waffle recipe to perfection. Oh my god! Honestly, I'm not gonna hold you. I've had like 22 waffles in the past 2 weeks developing this recipe. Like my inner child has been doing a crip walk because every day, every day. That's the best part of being grown, being able to eat whatever you want. But I really can't eat whatever I want being bipolar. I'm not supposed to have caffeine, which, by the way, after it's been 6 months since I had any decaf coffee, but I did buy some because I'm back in writer mode because I got to finish up the book next week. So these are one of the things that I do to complete goals. I give myself these little dopamine treats. Like, okay, for example, I want to get some writing done tomorrow. I like to have coffee. So the only time I get to have coffee is if I complete a chapter of the book. Like for tonight, I didn't call out on my live. My brain always wants to avoid any type of interaction with anyone. My therapist loves to tell me that I have an avoidant personality disorder. That's her new thing this week. I'm like, okay, girl. Um, so I give myself these little dopamine treats. So after this live, since I showed up and did what I was supposed to do, I get some non-dairy Ben and Jerry's. What flavor is it? It's strawberry cheesecake ice cream. But I only get a little bit because it's got a lot of sugar in it. I'm not even supposed to have sugar, but my little treat. So these are the things that I do because I have to do these things for me to complete my goals. Because back to what this whole thing is about, completing any type of goal or project, I really do avoid anything productive, honestly, because I never want to do anything. I just want to crawl into a ball and not exist. Honestly, I just want to crawl into a ball and not exist, not feel, not think, not experience fear. The last townhouse that we lived in, I felt so uncomfortable. The atmosphere was wrong. The neighbors were wrong. I was seeing entities and people. People weren't moving right. Things just weren't right. You ever just been in a space that wasn't spiritually right? It just wasn't right. And I had no peace in that house. And I had so much anxiety. And it was so overwhelming. I felt like I was having electric shocks in my nerves constantly. It was like having a never ending heart attack. I cannot do it with the anxiety anymore. And that's when I was like, yo, we got to figure this out. We got to fix ourselves, whatever it takes. I don't care if we have to cut everybody off, which I did. Stop doing anything but focusing on how to fix myself because, girl, can't nobody live like this. Wow. Hi, Trauma Trench Coat Pondu. I love your name. Hey, I just wanted to say I watched your video about the ways to communicate better with your kids, and I really appreciate the way that you are real and straight to the point. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Um, yeah, I figured out that I think that's what I need to be focused on more is talking about and writing about that whole experience about losing the kids, dealing with the Department of Social Services, all the things that I did wrong. I'm an expert now, like what they look for. And basically there were so many points where I could have changed that whole situation just by how I carried myself and how I spoke to them. I basically handed them my kids. I made so many mistakes. And the fact that I recovered shows me that I'm supposed to share my story with other people. Because if you don't see someone else do it sometimes, how do you know that it's possible? Because I certainly didn't see anybody else doing what I was doing. There were times where I saw, okay, that's not true. When I was in rehab, there was one girl that used to come there to our rehab every week because she had gone through the same rehab I was in. She had started her own job and she was helping other girls and I was one of those people. So yeah, you have to sometimes when you're in a dark place, somebody has to be that beacon of light. And if I can be that for somebody else, I have no problem doing that because I'm built to take hard things and still survive. Thank you so much. I appreciate your kindness. I hope that the kindness you have shown me is returned to you 10 times full. Thank you so much. We're doing the agave, cinnamon, and lemon tea with parsley today. I usually put apple cider vinegar in here in the morning for my gut biome, my stomach. But because it's so late and I'll probably go to bed early. I don't want to lay down and have all that acid try to return because that is painful. So we've been doing really well this week. I'm not stuck on processing my emotions anymore. I already know how to do that now, and I've integrated into my program. Now my focus is on completing my goals because that's the biggest thing that I'm not doing. The kids are secure, the house is secure, managing the finances well. Moving forward, I'm learning making a plan on how to invest my money once I get YouTube monetized, how to invest that. It's looking probably like real estate. Other than that, how am I going to evolve my career to fulfill my life's task? And that's what this is about. How to basically create your own career based around what you're good at and what you're passionate about and what will be fulfilling. Because in me studying myself in the past week, I find that when I participate in activities that are productive and that are aligned with my life's path, when I'm hanging out with the kids, when I'm cleaning, when I'm taking care of my animals, when I'm learning. Like I had to learn a lot about germinating seeds and soils and all types of stuff this week. When I'm studying something on YouTube, when I'm painting, when I'm conceptualizing, when I'm writing, when I'm dancing, when I'm working out, I'm not hungry. I don't want to smoke. I don't want to sleep. I'm not sad. I'm not hungry. I look up and it's 7:30 and I haven't had my first meal yet because I'm fulfilled from things other than food. You know. Another thing, oh, she's my therapist, shout out to her. Um, I'm not focused on anything like sex or hanging out. And that apparently that's like one of the symptoms or signs of having another type of avoidant personality disorder, schizo avoidant disorder, some something or other, whatever. I have a disability claim, so I feel like she's just trying to help me. Because I told her, I was like, I've had paperwork from my lawyer to turn into you for like 4 months, but I felt uncomfortable giving it to you because I'm here for the work. I didn't want you to think that this was about the money. She was like, your mental health and your finances are two different things. Emily, thank you. Thank you for that donation. Oh my God. Wow. Thank you. May that be returned to you 10 times fold. I appreciate you so much. Wow, that really, I'm sorry. I'm not used to things going well in my life. I'm not used to being listened to. I'm not used to being supported. And that's why I go so hard supporting other people. I totally lost my train of thought. That threw me off. I'm so sorry. Oh, my therapist. Oh, yeah. The not wanting to have sex or not wanting to have relationships. And that's why she thinks that I'm schizo avoidant. But anyway, she was like, you making money and your mental health work with me are two different things. Give me the paperwork. And she was like, the fact that you are trying to avoid giving me something that could help you is part of the psychopathy. Is that what she called it? Of what she's saying that I have. But I take what she says with a grain of salt because I understand that a lot of stuff that's going on with me is also spiritual and not just, it's not like I understand that I have a mental health diagnosis and a lot of that is like chemical. It's my genetics. But the environmental part of my mental health diagnosis, that is something that I can fix, honestly. I can change my environment to support my mental health, which is what I do with my kids, which is why I pulled them out of public school and homeschooled them and built my basically have my home be like a trade school for them. I figured out what they wanted to do in life and then I supported them in doing that. And now they're more independent. You know, we focused on critical thinking skills. I showed them things about how to heal themselves, how to take care of a home, how to make meals, how to budget, things like that. You're welcome. I was listening to your video on the way to work and it changed my perspective. I really appreciate that. That's what I love about YouTube. I love listening to other people's stories. I love having my perspective changed because I don't have a community around me. I wasn't raised by a community. You know, I don't know who my real parents are. And the people that adopted me at 6 months were doing so to try to save their own relationship. And it was volatile and they ended up separating. And then I got thrown to the streets and basically had to raise myself, which is why I'm so close to nature and so close to my spiritual, ancestral, etheric side because that's all that I have to hold on to. I don't have people to guide me. So I have to parent myself. And it's very challenging, especially when you see so many people around you failing. Like I've never seen a healthy relationship in real life. The only healthy relationships I've seen were on TV shows. And that's really sad. So it may sound corny. Well, I'm corny. I'm a damn Scorpio. I'm very corny. You really do have to become the change that you want to see. I make the music that I want to hear. I make videos about things that I would want to see other people make videos about, but they don't. And I don't have friends. I don't have anyone to share my experiences with. There has to be people out there that need to hear what I have to say, or I wouldn't be moved to say it. Hi, Nikki. Hi, how you doing? How are you doing? How was your week? And guys, I don't know if you are in other people's lives a lot. Please don't get distracted by trolls or anything. We have a special section for the trolls in the back. They get to wear a dunce cap that says troll. And I just don't want you guys to get irritated. Did you have a good week? I know a few weeks back we were supposed to be, the homework was making a space throughout the day to just sit with your own thoughts and see where it went, because back then we were still processing our emotions and trying to figure out who we were, and committing to making spaces in our lives where it was just ourselves, me and spirit, us and just us and our thoughts, to figure out, outside of being somebody's mom or somebody's boss or somebody's something, who are we and what do we want? And in order to figure that out, we got to make these spaces to spend with ourselves. Did you take a nice bath? Did you go on a nice stroll? Did you put in your earbuds and listen to them naughty songs you're not supposed to be listening to? JT coming, JT coming. I'll be here speaking all that money. I ain't supposed to be listening to that naughty stuff. Had a great week. How about yourself? I had a good week. I had a good week. I had a good week. I'm really grateful. I've been in a really grateful space. I've just been looking around because my Scorpio season is coming up and I'll be another year older. I'm just feeling very reflective, excuse me, and grateful, honestly. And looking at all the things that I've been ignoring and seeing what I can tighten up on. I've been working out more. Like, I'm happy with my body, but I have the mom pouch that every mom has. I've had 6 children with my ex husband. And so that space, I want it to be like my kids' stomach. They have the perfect bodies, and I want to be built like them. So I've been working on my stomach and making a plan to go ahead and finally become that woman that I am in my head. Hey, Daria. Hey, girl. I was hoping you showed up. Good to see you. It's so good to see you. I was thinking about you earlier. I appreciate you so much. Yeah, and just coming up with a plan to be that real grown woman. 'Cause I'm looking forward to being grown, because in so many ways I feel like I'm childish. Like, we all are children, I feel like, spiritually, because those that have come before us are so much older than us. But like, I feel like I could be more responsible and show up for myself more. I want to be that. I want to embody that perfect idea of who I am. The writer that wakes up and makes a decaf coffee after doing the yoga and praying and washing up and cleaning. And then I go and I type out on my typewriter for 3 hours. And then I go refresh my water. And, it's just like I have this idea of who I am in my head. And the old version of me keep popping back up. But it's like now, instead of trying to act like it's not there, I acknowledge it. I've been spending a lot of time what they call integrating my shadow, like letting the past versions of me, instead of haunting me, inviting them to the table when they peer up, when they pop up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't ignore the past versions of me anymore, because she deserves love as well. The versions of me that pop up in my memory that weren't there for my kids because I was on drugs, that had us homeless, hopping from house to house, that had us in dirty clothes, that had me just being a junkie. Like, that version of me, when it pops up in my head, I used to run away from it and want to go numb it out. But now I sit in that memory because I did it. And you know what? I use that. I encapsulate that memory, and I use that to drive me forward when I don't feel like doing shit, like showing up to this live. When I'm like, all right, so let me find a picture up in here that I can put to my excuse post talking about something I couldn't show up today. First of all, I thought about everybody that would be disappointed. So that was my motivation. Then I took that picture that I had in my memory of me not taking care of my kids in my past and not showing up for them, and using that as for the reason why you need to get your ass up and show up. because there have been too many times in the past where you didn't. You kind of owe that to the universe, to your kids, to your past. And in kind of a way, I feel like, I don't know, maybe you can fill the cracks, you know, the cracks that I've made in my life from screwing up so much. It's not like you can make like the past better, but I can make a better version of myself now so that I don't repeat the mistakes that I made in the past. So that's what I do. Hi, Asikia. I hope I'm saying your name right. Oh, yes, thank you. 6 children, yes. I met him when I was 18, and that's when we had our first son. So I've got 3 sets of Irish twins. I would get pregnant, and then 8 to 9 months later, I'd be pregnant again. And then there'd be a year or two gap, and then I'd have another one, and then 8, 9, 12 months later, I have another one. So there's two, two, and two. And each of them, I think the youngest ones have like only 9 or 8. They have 10 months apart from them, yes. Ugh. 5 boys and 1 girl. The youngest, she's about to turn 16, and my oldest is 23, I believe. I still have 3 at home. That's hard, but we can do hard. That's what I was saying. I was built to do hard things. You know, when you survive, I feel like you have to turn around and pull other people up. It's like if you in a plane crash and half the people are dead and some of y'all survive, what you gonna do? You wanna look around and see if you can help other people. That's basically what I'm doing. What's the like? Why would you not? Don't deviate. So I stick to the plan. Okay. I don't follow how I feel. I have a mood disorder. We're not going to do that because if we followed how I feel, this town would be on fire. I stick to the plan. I stick to the plan. I don't have a schedule. I have a routine because a schedule requires me to do these things at a certain time. I just do these things in a certain order. Everything my everything done in a precise order. And that was my irritation with my teenagers. They were just mindless and just throwing stuff everywhere, doing stuff, can't find nothing, don't know what, locking, not remembering to lock doors and stuff. No, excuse me, military minded. No, accountability, centered, pay attention. You only put your keys here. Before you leave, you do a check. Do I have everything? Like, come on. I need you to have a routine. I need everything to be in order. When everything is in order, I'm fine mentally. When everything is chaotic, I cannot function. So, therefore, this is the environment that I'm talking about. The environmental aspect of my bipolar, I can control. My house is spotless 24 hours a day. I don't give a damn. That makes me feel better. When I go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, I'm in there wiping off the toilet and walls and stuff. There's something spiritual. I'm sorry, I can see the tracers when I'm wiping off the walls. See if you can see the little tracers of energy. You can see it. Well, when you're cleaning, I don't need no entities in my house. I don't need no fun. I'm telling you, when my kids leave the house and come back, if they have any type of attitude, anything like that, no, go clean. I'm cleaning rooms. I'm vacuuming. I'm saging. You're not bringing no attachments up in here. Everything has to do with the energy around me because I'm so sensitive to everything. Sound, smells, disrespect. Like, I keep my ass in the house because I know how I am. You know, I've got so much trauma trapped in my body. Don't nobody need to be tweaking off. I am 42 and ain't no bleach in prison. I stay my ass in the house. I appreciate you, Nikki. All praise goes to the Most High. This is about spirit, and that's another thing. I speak a lot to women about the divine feminine because when I started reading the Gnostic Gospels, because my adopted parents raised me in the church to be Christian. But when I started asking questions about the Adam and Eve story and things of this nature, I got kicked out. So I started reading about quantum physics, true human history, Anunnaki, Tiamat, all these other things, and learning about spirituality and starting to get my questions answered, and then realizing that there were parts taken out of the Bible, and then finding out that the divine feminine had been written out of damn near history, and that we were a lot more powerful and had a lot more to do with the creation of everything that anybody wanted to acknowledge. And then that's when I started to realize this is my story too. This is every woman's story. Being suppressed, being manipulated, being used. They want to slaughter us all, wear our skin. The same things they hate about me, they want to be. So it's like if they can see my power, why can't I see my power? Why? Because I'm listening to them, what they say about me. Why are you doing that? These are the same people trying to kill you, don't like you, don't love you at all. You trying to impress them. No. So I had to realize who I really was and started really studying the power of women as a whole. Divine feminine. I really feel like it's our duty to learn about that and teach our daughters so we can take back control of this earth because these men have lost their minds. I don't know what they think they got going on here. I don't know. All these insecure men and over masculine, don't want to admit they have feelings, don't want to provide, don't want to be strong, don't want to take accountability. Everybody out here thopping about, and I ain't sucking nothing to pay nothing. You got me messed up. Absolutely not. I will manifest the hell out of everything that I want because I know how to do it. You understand what I'm saying? These are the things that music is used for to pass down ancient knowledge. These are the things that we're supposed to be learning: how to manifest, how to heal, how to elevate. Like, don't nobody want to keep reincarnating here on earth. I don't want to keep being a human in this flawed ass system that we allow to be perpetuated. You know what I'm saying? And changing the world starts with changing our minds and changing how we treat our kids and our home. So I'm not going to repeat the way that I was treated. I'm not going to do that. But I'm also not going to be silent about the things that I've been through and the people that did it to me because some of them are still alive, but they just drop it like flies, baby. All these people that wanted to talk down on me, abuse my kids, try to, that's what triggered me about what they did to my son. Apply this false narrative to me. You're not about to do that. I'm gonna show y'all because everybody doubted me. They love to doubt us. They love to look down on women. They love to look down on minorities because we are powerful. That's crazy. If you had any good sense, you would align with me. I just want a piece of this earth where I can live in peace and progress and build myself up and my family. That's it. And it seemed like everything and everybody out here trying to kill me and tell me that I'm not good enough, and that's bullshit. And if there's anything that I can do to move us away from that, that's what I'm finna do. Hello, Demark. I love your name. I appreciate everybody for being here. And it's not easy. So yeah, I don't deviate from the plan. I hold myself accountable and it feels good because I want to be hard to myself. I cannot be fake. I can't. I just can't look myself in the mirror. And that's why I thank God that I can make music. I love being in that studio. I love being able to finally tell my truth because I feel like you can never really be yourself around anybody because they're not going to like you. If you tell people the truth about themselves, they tell you that you're being fake when really you're telling the truth. How is telling the truth being fake? It's crazy to me. Like, this is why I can't do friendships. I can't do it. The small talk and the trauma dumping and the jealousy and the, oh my god, people are just so, some people are just so deviant minded and they just like built like that because that's the role they're supposed to play, right? Like we can't all be light beings. What the hell is light being? We all light beings. Just some of us are higher, lower densities. Like we all have a role to play. We can't all be Batman. Some of y'all just got to be the Joker. Lord have mercy. Fulfill your life's path or you will be filled with junk. That's some real shit. And that's what I was talking about. Our diets are not just what we eat, it's also what we do. So when I'm doing things that fulfill me and bring me happiness, because somewhere along the way we were told you're an adult, you just have to do things that you have to do. What about the things that we want to do? Like Sweet Life of Queen, shout out to her. She just took herself to Disney World for her birthday by herself. And I said, go ahead, Queen. Period. She's living her life for herself. Her inner child happy as hell right now. Okay. She just taking herself out to eat, going shopping, having a ball. And I respect that so much. There's so much of our lives that we're not living authentically. We're doing what we were told to do. And that's what this unscripted is about. He's talking about the script of our life. You grow up, you go to school and you get trained how to be, have a slave mentality, right? So then you go to college working for a degree that's pretty much useless, end up being an Uber driver, and now you in debt, right? But you're supposed to get married and have kids, right? So you teach them this perpetual, it's Christmas, let's blow money that we spend the next year trying to pay off, and just the whole work more, 401k, second mortgage on the house, more debt, work more, push back retirement script, right? And everybody always want to say, manifest the life you want, manifest the life you want, but they don't give you a blueprint. You know what I'm saying? They don't give you practical ways to get from where you are right now to where you want to be. Okay, you tell me don't kill myself in my 9 to 5, that is mental slavery, don't get caught up in the matrix. Well, how the fuck am I supposed to get from working on my 9 to 5 to buying a house and doing whatever my life purpose is? How am I supposed to do that? You know what I'm saying? So that's the journey that we're on. So in order to do that, I have to get information from everywhere. So I don't have time to hang out. I don't have time to answer the phone. I ain't got time to go nowhere. I'm in here reading and chilling and figuring myself out. Otherwise, I'm no good to the world or my kids or anything else. I'm centered around my family because that's all I ever wanted, and it's a gift from God. I have one tube. I I lost a baby. I was my last year of middle school. I got pregnant, a tubal litigation from an infection. My stomach, I had cramps one day. I had cramps, cramp like this, and couldn't move. They took me to the hospital. They did the little test, and they're like, pregnant baby, whatever. Going to surgery, my stomach had filled up with blood because they were going to remove the tube because it had ruptured. They didn't know I had ruptured. So they taking their sweet time to get me into emergency surgery, but you take your sweet time. My stomach had filled up with blood. I almost died, but they took my tube and they said, "You're never gonna have another child, whatever. One tube, shoot." My little Hungarian husband shot up the club 6 times. I got 6 strong babies. They've been bigger than me since they were 12. Big as hell. Mouthy as I don't know what. These guys don't know what they be talking about. So yes, this is why I don't listen to doctors. Not no damn Western doctor. Just work, stop being lazy and avoidant. Yeah. Having to take accountability for being avoidant. One thing I did get out of that little avoidant personality situation that she trying to label me with, whatever, tell the disability, honey, is that if you know that you are hardwired to avoid things that will progress you, in that moment that you're saying, I don't feel like, as soon as you hear that, that's when you know, get your ass up and go do it. Because we're not finna do that. I really have to break myself up and become my own parent, my own army guy. What do they call him? Lieutenant. Get your ass up, Fury. Type shit. You know what I'm saying? I really have to do that for myself because I don't have those people in my life to do it. Hey, Christina. Good to see you. They told me I couldn't have kids too, and then I did. I feel like they just be telling you anything. They do, especially in this country. And I don't know what it is with this whole wanting to chop women up. Like, what's the thing? Breast cancer, stage 0 breast cancer, where they have you chop off your breast because you might have breast cancer. Y'all just like chopping up women. What? And now the Medicaid scam that they've been doing for the past 20 years, telling people that they have cancer and they don't have cancer. Honey, oh my God. I don't believe nothing them people say. When God tell me I have cancer, that's when I have cancer. My body will tell me I have cancer. I don't believe nothing y'all say. I don't give a damn. They mean they're taking the wrong pieces out of people. Oh, I'm sorry, we mixed up your chart. Fuck suing you. I will burn that hospital down. Take one of my organs that ain't supposed to be took. That's just crazy. This world is crazy. They really be playing on people's time. And that's why I'm telling you, that demon came out on me when they attacked my son like that. It really did. People will just say anything. That's crazy to me. And where I'm from, we know better. You don't just say stuff out the side of your neck. Your life will get taken. So I've just grown up with that mentality. I know how to sit back in the cup and keep my mouth shut. I'm from Baltimore, baby. I don't know where y'all from or what's wrong with these people mentality out here that they just say whatever the fuck, but that's not how I was raised. I know how to play the wall real quick. I know how to sit back and observe my environment. I know how to keep my mouth shut. I ain't see nothing. I ain't saying nothing. I don't get up in the mix. I know how to respect people's space. Like I don't play them type of games because where I'm from, I don't know what you say can get you put in an early grave. How you carry yourself can get you put in an early grave. I remember, listen, shoot, I remember growing up and like this girl, like if you would wear like a mini skirt or something provocative around somebody, man, you would get jumped. Like I don't know, it's just a respect thing. People are very disrespectful. You know, complete your projects. I woke up feeling good. I wrote today because I am a writer. So I like to periodically define myself so that I can remember who I am because sometimes I forget because I get too caught up in the roles that I'm playing. The YouTube video maker role, the mom role, the spiritualist role, the healer in my community role when my son's friends call up, hey yo, can you get your mom to make me some tea for this, and this? Or can you ask your mom this, and this? I love those positions and I love those roles, but it's not all of who I am. They're just pieces. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, even when I was talking about the friendships, I never show people who I really am. Just the page. Only this blank page get to see who I really am. And that's why I miss it's my ex-husband so much, because I really showed him who I was for real. And he still loved me. And he also ended up hating me for it, because he hated me for everything he loved me for, because he wasn't that he wanted to be. And that sucks, because I loved that man so much, but he abused me because he hated the light in me, yo. And he's just like a naturally disrespectful person. I talk about him like he's still alive. He seemed like he's still alive. He won't stay his ass out my dreams. So annoying. Even when they dead, they don't leave you alone. Leave me alone. So worried about what I'm doing. These kids, I tell you, these boys especially, they don't want nothing. They always in my face. They don't want nothing. But that scared me when my son said he was moving out. He's not going to anymore. It was just weird, because that video hasn't even dropped yet. He done already changed his mind. Like, boy, you was just talking out the side of your neck. Gemini's get on my nerves. It's like y'all are naturally bipolar. I'm saying that like I'm not a Gemini moon. I like to have lost my mind when I found out I was part Gemini. I'm like, no. But now I'm grateful for all my placements. I'm grateful for all my placements, and I utilize them. I really do. I'm happy with what. Well, no, I don't. Well, can I say I'm happy with where I'm at? I'm grateful for where I'm at. I'm happy with our progress, but I feel like I can be doing more. So I had to figure out, how can I get myself from having pretty much no momentum, because I slowed everything down so much that I had no momentum to fulfill my projects. I'm like, well, I don't have to come out with more music. I don't have to finish the book. My bills are paid, the kids are fine. That should be enough, but it's not enough. It's not enough, because I'm building a legacy. I want more. So if I want more, I need to do more. And the only person that can make me do that is me. So instead of bullying myself into doing it, instead of procrastinating, which is a trauma response, the putting off taking care of things is not just self sabotage, it's a trauma response. So I'm having to make sure that I'm viewing all of my behaviors from a mental health perspective and a spiritual perspective. Okay. I have to look at what I'm doing and how it will affect my future, what I'm not doing and how it will affect my future. Okay. And I don't want to keep putting it off. I really do want to see how far I can go, because everybody was against me. So now it's like, fuck it, yo, I've already lost everything. I lost everything and I gained most of it back. The only thing I didn't get back was my husband. He's dead. If I wanted him back before he died, I could have. But I feel like, yo, when God gets you out of a toxic relationship, you better stay out of it, because I'll be in that grave right next to him had I actually met up with him, when he would call me in the middle of the night, laying right next to his new wife and his new baby. Boy, bye. Don't call me. When he did that, my daughter was sitting right next to me for no reason. 1:30 in the morning, he calling me. I need you. You the only one. You made your choice. Live with it. Not even 6 weeks later, that man was dead. Yeah, he dead. So that's just like God pulling me out of this 20. I did drugs for 30 years, pretty much. 30 years since I'm 12. So 30 years. 30 years I've been a drug addict. So you think I'm about to go relapse after God literally pulled me out of hell? Absolutely not. I'll be in the grave right with my ex-husband. No, thank you. That's okay. I know when I've been shown grace, I'm not gonna be disrespectful. I'm very grateful for where I'm at, but I need to do more. You know, when you become complacent, a part of you decays. It's just that word decays. I just saw a part of my brain rotting. And I'm like, yo, nah, yo, I really gotta, I gotta find a game. Let's find a new game to play with myself to get me up out of this funk. How are we going to get from the house is clean, our morning routine is done, and in that space where I usually sit and watch YouTube for 4 hours, how are we going to spend that finishing your book? The whole 3 pages you need to finish it. What is wrong with you, girl? So I have to show up for myself. No excuses. Go with the flow, which going with the flow is not just, well, whatever happens, happens. No, it's meeting life on life's terms. It's acceptance, accepting that life is good, but it could be better. Acceptance that, yeah, we've done a lot, but we could do more. Acceptance that, girl, you just want to put in some work. Okay. Vacation's over. We get the trauma and you processing your emotions. We get it, girl. We get it. But if you want that land that you talk about every day and dream about every single night, finish the book. Next week, I still have one chapter out of each book. I'm going to keep that. And then the goal is to finish the chapter that I'm on in the book. So I've got 3 pages that I need to work on. And then I think I'm pretty much done. But what's going to take the most time is editing. So what I've been doing to incorporate new activities into my schedule is using my little timer. I've got a timer that I got off Amazon. Actually, got 2 of them. I think I got 2 for like $10. It's really cool. I used to use it to cook with, but now I use it to have intervals of things that I want to incorporate. Like this is how I started working out, setting a timer for just 20 minutes. You do that 3 times a day, you got an hour's worth of workout. I'll put on, I don't know, Sky's Life, TMR, anybody, Lady Blank, somebody, anybody. Put them on, working out. Got my timer on. Timer going on. I ain't even paying attention. Now I'm really in it. 20 minutes, set another 20 minutes. Now I'm at 40 minutes. That's how I incorporated that. Reading, set the timer, 20 minutes. Do 20 minutes of reading. Before you know it, you so ingrained in the book, by the time the timer go off, hold on, let me finish this. Hour later, book damn near done. So that timer has really, really helped me. It's not enough to say that we have the power to change our lives. We have to find practical ways to change our behavior and to change our thinking. So I read books to get new information and to gain new perspectives. Okay. I've got my therapist giving me different insight onto my behavior because I'm sitting here beating myself up thinking, girl, you just lazy, good for nothing. She's like, oh, you got an avoidant personality disorder. And I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't even know that. Genetics, environment, great. So it's not just me. How do we fix it? Type shit. So I got her for that. Then everything else is on me. It's my self-talk. It's showing up for myself, being my own best friend. A TED Talks told me if your future version of yourself would write a letter to yourself now, what would she say to you now? So I think of my future version all the time, and I let her parent me, and I let her encourage me so that I actualize her later. You follow me? So in my mind, I have a picture of Fury. She's like 50, 55. She has her land. Her businesses are thriving. She's finished her album. She's got like 12 books under her notch. All the kids live on the land. All the plant, it's all the things. How would she counsel me now? What would she say to me to get me to formulate my life in a way where I'll do become her? Shout out to TED Talks. Y'all be doing the thing, man. Because I wouldn't have come up with that for myself. So yeah, this is what I do. And to me, that's more valuable than having friendships because what are them friendships doing to help me align with my life's task? If anything, those friendships that I had were distracting me from my life's task. I don't want to hang out and get drunk. I don't want to go out and be nobody potential next victim. I don't want to go out looking for no unhealed man. I don't want to go out. I don't want to be away from my kids. I was away from them for 8 years. No, I want to stay home and be a cornball. Absolutely. I'm the Black Martha Stewart. I don't give a damn. Easy edits. What's up, yo? What do you edit? Nice to meet you. I'm Fury. I've never seen you here. Welcome to Fury World. I hope you're not a troll because they got to sit in the back. If you're a nice guy, I acknowledge you. But since you were so polite, I love polite. We love polite here. We don't need no super hyper masculine men over here. We like gentlemen that know how to slice off heads with swords, but only to defend the family. Keep your gangster on reserve and all. I think that's all for the journal. Always manage your money well. Oh, yeah, I definitely manage my money well. Oh, yes. Oh, my God. That's another thing. I'm so in the season of stacking. All praise to the Most High. I've been getting donations from people, which, by the way, if you send me a donation, please remember to fill out is it an I-9 form? Either way, any donations are a tax deduction. So it will reduce how much you have to pay in taxes if you owe taxes. So make sure you claim those. Any donations you give, keep track of those, please. Mutually beneficial. I learned that in my financial literacy classes that I made all my teenagers take because I definitely homeschooled my kids. Because after I got custody of them back, it was a transition bringing them from Baltimore to another small mountain town to a small mountain town. That transition was hard, and they have been through a lot of trauma, and I just wanted them close to me. It's hard, like, okay, hey, now you're living back with your mom after not living with her for 8 years, and your parents are going through a divorce, and she just got out of rehab, and then, hey, you got to go to a new school. Like, what? No. No. I love my kids. I can't stop saying that the kids are divine assignments. I read that like last week. And it's made me be a lot more gentle with them. That shit scared me, seeing my son move out, because it just scared me, yo. Like I as much as I complained about them getting on my nerves, I did not want them to leave. I love the way my house feels, just having them breathe or hearing them laugh or hearing his big old self shake the house. That gives me life. I didn't want to let go of that yet. I felt like there were still things that I wanted to teach him. So now, ever since I had that move out scare, I've been spending more time with them, and I think they've appreciated it. It's been a lot calmer, and I do like hanging out with them. I do. I really do. I love learning who they really are, and I love seeing myself through them and in them. It's amazing. This is the greatest gift. I feel like we are definitely making up for lost time. I've had them back now for 5 years. I stepped out of rehab after not having them for 8 years, and not only got served, this nigga gonna serve me with papers for divorce, even though I thought we were still together. Didn't even know he had a whole girl and a baby on the way. And I got all six of the kids, plus two of them had girlfriends that they brought home that were homeless and needed a place to stay the day I got out of rehab. And I was the only one working at FedEx overnight and had to take care of all them kids. And then they had the nerve to go get a fucking cat and a turtle. Girl, bye. My life is a movie that didn't nobody ask for. So, but that's why I share my story. And I appreciate all of y'all being here with me. I did let, oh, that's something else I did. I let my website go just because I've had it for 4 years and I don't feel like I need it anymore. I've had that website before I had the YouTube channel, and it was to push the music, but I can push the music through my YouTube channel. And it's just an unnecessary expense. And I really got to get back in the studio. So that's more important than having a website with the blog on it. And instead of writing blogs, just write ebooks. Duh. How to get your kids back after you've lost custody of them, how I got off of drugs, how I left a toxic relationship. I have more than enough material. I never have to make one of them posts. What do you guys want to see from me next? Girl, I listen, you ain't gotta worry about that. I've been through enough. I have a wealth of things to talk about. Is that everything? Yes. So moving forward, I'm doing a chapter out of each of those books. And my main focus this week is definitely working on that book, which that's my whole focus. I feel like the one chapter out of each of these books until they're done is going to be something that's just like a flat goal every week until it's ingrained in my routine. And I've also been doing pretty good with my evening routine. Sometimes it's hard for me to like put the phone down because I'm like online and I'm hijacked, but this past week I've been doing a lot better with not consuming media because I've just been focused on other things, like I said, being productive around the house and creating and expressing through my artistic projects more so than taking in new information because it gets to be overwhelming. I need to process what's already going on in my head before I can go watching anybody else's problems and issues. I really have to unplug from that stuff because I will get overwhelmed and I will just get hyper in my mind. And that's when I start not sleeping and not being able to function. So I have to put myself on a media diet and only have but so much time in front of a screen. And it's also been affecting my eyesight. My eyes have been getting blurry. So I definitely need to go to the eye doctor. That's one doctor I'm not going to reschedule because Fire needs to go too. So that's something we'll do next month. And I'm starting a new season of Fury World. That'll be happening within the next 2 months. I'm really excited about that. We've got studio session coming up. Judah is 60 days away from shooting my lyric video. It's like a lyric visualizer. He's working in the Da Vinci studio to work on a visualizer slash music video for No Fear. And then we're right back in the studio September. I'm shooting for September, but I think it's going to be October. So all right. Thank you so much for spending time with me here in Fury World. If you're interested in checking out my music, it's available on all music streaming platforms worldwide under my artist name, The Fury of Abyss. So for next week, we're going to tap back in, same time, same place. And we're still making the spaces throughout the day to just sit with our thoughts. I've been doing that naturally now. I don't have any problem with doing that. But the focus is completing our goals and getting our projects done, because that's a level of self-sabotage that is going to keep you stuck forever. And I have things that I want to do with my life. You know what I'm saying? Just surviving and just managing my emotions and just taking care of the kids and just taking care of the house is not enough. I have my own personal goals that I want to complete. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to find me. I'm right here. Yep. I love you guys. Thank you so much for spending time with me here. Sometimes my brain runs two words together and I'll just say the oddest shit and I'll just roll with it because it's like, girl, whatever. Thank you for spending time with me here. I know our circumstances can sometimes seem dire, but there's always a solution, there's always a way out. There is no question that doesn't have an answer. You know what I'm saying? And there are some things that we're not going to understand, like about God or why things are the way they are. You don't need to understand the whole picture right now. You just need to play your part. And in order to do that, you got to find out who you really are to find out what you want. You know what I'm saying? And then just kind of base your life and your actions and your thought patterns around that. But we're going to figure out how to get from a place of trauma and negative zero to living the lives that we really want to live, because we don't have to stay stuck, yo. Just like we don't have to entertain negativity. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to stay stuck where we are. We don't have to stay stuck in our relationships. We don't have to stay stuck in our mentalities. We don't have to stay stuck in our bodies. We're a lot more powerful than we are, and we have a lot more control than we think that we do. We got to link up in communities and spaces like this so that we can share energy, inspiration, and information with each other. So you don't feel so alone. You're not alone. Tap into the nature around you. Tap into the energies around you. It's there to support you. It's not just hokum. It's not just something hippies say, yo. The universe is here to support you, to move you forward, not backwards. You feel me? I love you. Thank you for spending time with me here in Fury World. I'll catch you in the next episode. Peace.